I like the idea of like, dude, I don't want to ever sell my SPX coins.
Right.
Like that was what I was always looking for in the general meme coin category. Like, who can I invest in for a decade plus and be a part of, and they're going to keep showing up, and we're actually going to make something meaningful. You said, I think the fact that the people in this keep you going is actually better than, you know, the idea of flipping the stock market keeping you going, or crypto in general, or for a community, was automatically given like a you know, 5x handicap. I think that cemented our status as like the most widely proliferated and propagated idea.
Hey everyone, this is Southern Fried Chat again, here with Cal for the second time. We all know him, we all appreciate him. How's it going, man?
Man, it's going good. I feel really optimistic and recharged about 2026. I think last year was a crazy year for a lot of reasons, crypto and otherwise. And I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm really excited about, and I'm sure we'll get into all of them. But I think, you know, there's never been a better time to be bullish, probably since 2021. So I'm good, man.
Dude, yeah. I'm a Permabulls, so my opinion doesn't really necessarily matter in terms of market.
By the way, so am I. I mean, so am I, but I can be a little objective as well.
Yeah. So, but the video Murad made, like 1,000 reasons to be bullish or whatever it was, 100 reasons. It was great.
Yeah,
I love that video.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, I mean, we could get into all of that, but you know, just speaking from like an anecdotal standpoint.
Yeah.
The bad people have left, and the bad money has left, and it is clear who is standing tall as a survivor. And I think it's literally that simple.
Yeah.
Buying
new coins at this point is like, you're just asking to get wrecked.
100%. And I would actually take that a step further. Like, there were only a few utility coins that offered any real substance of hope to people. You know, obviously Monad, you have now what has turned into like just a crazy frenzy of perp dexes and stuff, but originally had Hyperliquid, but following on that, you had, you know, Aster and Lighter and stuff. And I mean, they're launching, and it's just these, again, the mechanism behind why meme coins originally took such precedent, and took such a front stage spotlight for people, that is cemented itself into reality. Like, people do not want to play this insider game anymore.
Right.
It has gone through the full euthanasia coaster over years. You know, there's not really any conversation that I've had with a crypto native person that's not interested in meme coins where anybody has any sort of feigned belief even that they're going to hold a token for more than a short trade or a day or two or some specific situation. And so as a result, like, I actually think that I made a post like a year ago-ish about, you know, an on-chain renaissance. And I actually think we're finally ready to do that, because there are SPX is clearly the best coin on chain to bid. And there are probably 10 to 15 total coins that you could even justify bidding at all.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. The divide between the degenerate gambling and the real stuff is more clear than ever. It's because the hype is gone. There's no hype right now. Yeah,
the hype is gone, and you know, Murad has made a good point in the past talking about how crypto is about stories, and it absolutely is. And I think a big reason that like retail hasn't come back in mass is like nobody has really won in a big way for some time. And a big reason that nobody has won is you have all these random people that are in the shadows who are making all of the profit off of these, you know, ideas or this marketing or whatnot.
Yep.
And that has to fully die. Otherwise, like, they will scam pump tokens and they will fake people out. And those, you know, poor people who, and I mean poor in the sense that like I feel bad for them, will fall for the tricks. And the scammers need to leave. You know, otherwise that will go on in perpetuity. And I think that's finally happened.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, crypto Twitter is dead now.
It's dead.
So dead. I just like went on some random accounts that I know in the past I've looked at before. They're so dead. They're either botted or AI, whatever slop crap.
Yeah.
There's no real actual humans.
No, there isn't. It is crazy when you look at like an account that used to be kind of big, and maybe they still have good impressions and stuff, but like
I don't know. It looks pretty dire for a lot of them.
It definitely looks dire relatively, but like it could have like 10K impressions, and then you go look at like the 10 replies, and it's literally just some guy in a fake Bored Ape PFP, and they're like
trying to scam you, basically.
price went up, but resistance is scary, fam. That's or like something, one, and it's like, all right, man.
What are these accounts? Is this all fake?
I don't know.
Nonsense?
I was thinking about.
There's no way that any of this is real.
I think it's probably like either people trying to mass farm. Like if you reply to a very viral post, then you can get quite a lot of impressions. So maybe it's those bots that are set up to try to earn some Elon bucks, or it's
probably yep.
Or it's like these mega farms or something that definitely exist. They will have these bots like stay active so that they stay relevant in the algorithm, so that when someone wants to contract them out or something, like they pay top dollar. It's got to be one of those things. I can't think of any other reason they should exist.
They're not real. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
None of them are real.
But now it's crazy because the ratio used to, as I'm sure you know, it used to be like maybe 50-50 or something, and now it's literally like 90-10. Yep. And it's just the bots. So we're safe and comfy in Cognospheric Twitter.
That's the real CT. I try to requote some of those horrible posts and like make it SPX related. I'll like repost it, copy it, and like it's always a dumbass thing or whatever. It's like, you know, when we go to the moon, blah 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 blah. I'm like, then I'll just say when we flip the stock market, da 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 da. I'll just make a play on it. I do that a lot because I just think it's funny. These one of them was like, if your comment doesn't get a reply, you get $5,000. So I said, if your comment doesn't get a reply, you get $69 trillion. So dumb.
And we're the bots.
Yeah.
Come on.
$5,000.
But yeah, it is definitely pretty dead. I'm really happy at the progress that we've made. Like a lot of times when I'm going to, I've tried to get better about being off my phone before I go to bed, because last year I was literally on Twitter for an hour, 2 hours every single night before I go to bed, and then I just can't sleep. But before I put my phone away, I'll just like go pop on Reddit or something else, just see what conversation's happening over there. And it's awesome that there's just always stuff happening. You know,
it's way better over there. It's way more real over there. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Elon said he wanted to kill the bots. That narrative is going away because I feel like it's worse than ever. It's just awful.
I feel like it's worse. I think it's exacerbated in CT because they're just
true.
People aren't interested in crypto anymore, and they're not interested because the majority of people are just interested in the price going up. Especially traders, because they only care about vol, and all the vol has been in stocks or commodities or other things. And so naturally they're like, why would I pay attention to Bitcoin? And if I'm not going to pay attention to Bitcoin, I'm definitely not paying attention to alt number 300,000. Right. So for that broader reason, I think there's just like not many people who are actually even still here and care about this stuff outside of like, you know, the Cognosphere and then like 2 to 3 other communities.
Yeah. Just a few of the diehard communities.
Yeah. That's pretty much all that's left. And then a couple traders.
Yeah. And even like I've ventured out into like the old popular meme coins like Shiba Inu and Doge. That stuff's all botted too. None of that's real anymore.
Yeah. When I was first, like in 2024, when I was first kind of getting into all of this, I tried to look into like I would search hashtag Doge or like,
sure.
I forget what Shiba Inu's hashtag was, but I tried to like go in their subreddits and stuff just because I was kind of like, okay, you know, these pumped a lot. Like, is community really the secret sauce? And there are actually a lot of people in the Dogecoin subreddit.
Yeah, Doge.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
Sure.
But still relative to its market cap, like it's not crazy. And I think there's this phenomenon, which is kind of interesting and I think will really benefit SPX, where when something like really, you know, pumps, I guess is really the only way to put it, people get interested because they hear about it. People start telling each other about it. You know, it starts to go more viral. Like if SPX, you know, there is no price, but let's say tomorrow we wake up and it's $69, which would be only a fraction of where it's headed long-term to flip the stock market. Then people would be like, holy shit. And they would text each other. And then, they'd talk about it on CNBC or whatever. And as a result, like people FOMO in, and a percentage of those people will absolutely stay and like learn. Even when it goes down, they'll kind of stay and they'll be like, okay, well, maybe I should buy more. And that's like one of the best mechanisms for growth in crypto.
Yes.
But the bigger question is like, when the price isn't going up, can you actually still emulate that effect?
Yeah.
And the fact that we have done that, and it's been almost like a year and a half since Murad announced the list. That I think that's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, we made two highs. Let me think about it. We made a high in
that's true. January. That's true, but not like the second one wasn't like
but it
crazy.
was it's kind of like what Bitcoin did. It went up a little bit more, so it was kind of
you're right. That's true. But yeah, those stories haven't even had a chance to like really take place yet.
No, I agree. Yeah, it wasn't a manic high or anything. It was just kind of going along with the market. I think too, the ones that win, like whenever the mania comes, and like you said, that price is going to be the best marketing tool. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever can onboard people and get people to diamond hand the best are going to win. And I think
Absolutely.
SPX is prepared for that.
Yeah, I've been like trying, to accumulate as much as I can. Number one, obviously, like I've been DCAing extra hard, but I've also been, Tans has talked about this before, and I talked about this on the last episode that you and I had. I haven't brought it up much, but like the way I got into crypto outside of, buying my initial sort of position in like Bitcoin, and it was like Bitcoin and Litecoin. And then eventually I bought a little bit of ETH as well.
Sure.
I had good entries on those. I did pretty well on those, except for Litecoin, but it was like $200 or something. And I was 20,
whatever.
Yeah. It was like not a huge deal, but, the other ones were pretty good, but when I got more seriously into crypto, I started working for an L1, and I put a lot of my money into that. And, I really believed in it. And it's because I knew some of the, I guess like the founding team members, but they weren't really founders. So it's not their fault that it ended up playing out how it did. But I got my friends also to buy some of it, because I was like, I don't know, I was pilled, right? I thought a lot of the, ideas were good. And what I didn't realize is like the ideas actually were pretty good. It just doesn't matter because it's all supply and demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of my friends like lost a good amount of money on that. And I felt really bad about that for a long time. And another thing I've been doing for the last 3 months, since prices have been pretty down, is taking like half my DCAs and just sending it to these friends and just being like, look, just don't sell this. I'm going to send you some more information on this stuff. You can go as deep down the rabbit hole as you want. I made a little Google Drive for them, and I gave them some people to follow, and I just sent it to like their Coinbase, which is why Coinbase is amazing, right?
Oh, so glad we have that.
Yeah, it's huge. So I have been DCing extra hard, and I've sent them like a decent position, not like crazy, but certainly enough that like, if we get anywhere close to, the Murad targets or whatever, they're going to make all their money back and more. Right. And also, they'll actually, I know as soon as like, the right conditions for these stories play out, they're going to like really get into it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. So that's been like really gratifying for me, because I probably sent out like 5,000 SPX to like 10 friends or so over the last 3 or so months. And, some of them have gotten really interested in it. Others are kind of more neutral, and they're just kind of like, that's really cool, I'll check it out. But I'm just really excited for them to kind of get the opportunity that you and I have both had of like really having it's like mind fuck, really, like you're like, wow.
Can you imagine discovering it now? Like when we discovered it was way less. I mean, it was just memes and X,
right?
And that was
that's
it.
True.
There was no in-person anything really.
Yeah, like back then, it was still a mind fuck but it was all potential,
Right? It definitely was. But I'm saying, imagine you do it now.
For sure.
This would be like 1,000x of a mind fuck. I feel like
you're so right. Because then you can actually do something about it, and you can be like, okay, I'm in New York City, right? I'm gonna make the Brooklyn chapter or something, right?
Yeah.
And we're all gonna meet up every other Tuesday, or we're going to go protest at the actual on actual Wall Street in South Manhattan.
I've heard some ideas about it. Instead of doing like a conference, but just do it a meet, we're going to meet in New York at this time, and then we're going to go to Wall Street or whatever. I was like, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, FiDi just also is like the perfect target for all of us because it's kind of beyond just Wall Street itself, like that general region and like Tribeca and all that stuff. Like there's so much commentary, I feel like, on New York now about how it's a place that has kind of evolved into a very sterile corporate city of two worlds, there's kind of like the people who live very regularly, and then there's the ultra wealthy, and there's not much in between. Obviously there's some, but that bifurcation is kind of like a commentary on America as a whole. So I feel like there would be a lot of people who would be really receptive, who aren't into SPX now, who like deeply understand that problem,
Right. That makes total sense. I wanted to ask you too, how's the Flip the Stock Market podcast going?
Yeah, it's good. We took a little break just because schedules were really hectic. And we had a kind of a strategic discussion, call it 6 weeks ago or something like that, about like what's the best way to sort of evangelize SPX as a whole. And it's not that we won't do episodes with the four of us. We definitely will, but we want to be somewhat guest focused, and try to bring, other people who have other audiences who, either know one of us or know SPX, or will onboard them to SPX ahead of time, or they have TradFi experience or something, or they just have crypto native experience. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you remember in the summer when like a lot of these extremely well-known, really like kind of top of the industry VCs came out and were like, if we're going to support anything from, sort of like the pure belief asset generalist category. And what I mean by that is really just, tokens where the entire circulating supply is available.
Yep.
Then we're going to stop trading and believe in something.
Right.
And it would be awesome to have some of those people on there because they just deeply understand crypto and they deeply understand why Bitcoin had the success that it did. And they can bring their audience with them.
Yep.
So, so we had a little delay because we had schedule issues with Thanksgiving and Christmas, but
sure,
we will be back on schedule next week. What is that? The 15th.
Nice.
Yep.
No, I kind of sensed that there was like a shift in maybe goals or a shift in strategy, which that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we just also, to be honest, like when we started, it was basically us, and then it was you, and then Manj and I have done Crypto Compass, and there were spaces, but there were really only two like shows. So at the time, we were like, okay, we want to like kind of kickstart the process, and it made more sense for us to just speak about some of the ideas that we'd seen play out. But now there's so much discussion, and there are so many forms of content out there that I feel like actually other people are kind of filling that gap better than us. So I think this will be good on all fronts because sort of both of those arenas can live separately and attract different audiences. Mm-hmm. And it'll give us, I think it'll help us convince a lot of the people that we bring on's audience and them themselves, because we'll be able to like prep around the guest significantly more. So
yeah, y'all do a lot of work on making it top tier content, and I think that makes it separate and a step above a lot of the other stuff. So I think it's good to focus on quality instead of quantity with how y'all are doing it.
I appreciate it. I credit to Tans and Matt there. I think Manj and I originally were more in the quantity camp, but definitely seeing the quality of the guests in the questions and the discussions that we've had, especially in like the latter half, I think it makes more sense for us to lean in that direction. And if we think of the Cognosphere, or at least how I think about it, as like one massive kind of growing snowball, like there are different, or it's almost like an organism, that is having cells sort of split and either reproduce or grow. And like over time, it goes from infant to adult. There will be different like parts of the body that play different roles. And I think that this is a good one right now. And again, credit to Tans and Matt for kind of spearheading that. But I think it's good if we have all these different things, because then at the next phase, the growth phase that we were talking about, you can send all these different types of content to people who naturally are going to be attracted to different styles.
Joe's interview was really good. I know he's
so good.
He's an Aeon, but he definitely comes more with that Bitcoin TradFi type background.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think it's useful to bring these different types of people on, not only because the discussions are great, but also, you end up having a very wide set of conversations. Everyone who's a diehard Aeon, like, we know that everything is kind of SPX coded, right? Like, it's very easy to make anything SPX coded, but
yeah, definitely.
As we've seen on Reddit, the odd kind of straggler to the movement, or someone who's just kind of stumbling upon it.
Yeah.
The first time you hear one of these things, like, it might sound kind of crazy to them.
It's eye roll for sure.
Right. So you kind of need 45 minutes to like really go back and forth, and their figurehead or representative, who's the guest that we're having on, is also going to kind of hopefully in real time kind of like see that what we're preaching is not just an idea. Like, there's tangible versions of it that apply to a lot of different viewpoints. Mm-hmm. So I think Joe's was like a great example of, Joe's a classic. He's a Bitcoiner, right? He's a Bitcoiner, and he's a lawyer. So I think he deals with a lot of antiquated systems. And so that type of conversation was naturally very different than, when we had real view people on, or Real Vision, sorry, or when we've had Murad on, or Munchie.
The Real Vision, Real Vision was cool. Munchies was cool too, of course. I think, having like maybe you do throw in like an OG every now and again type of thing, and just, I don't know. I think those are good ideas. There's no way I could possibly get one of those TradFi guys on. Like, there's no possible way. So the fact I could do that would be
that is a Matt thing for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Matt is definitely got
Bonge
that.
And I will text each other and be like, dude, we got to prep for this one. We got to level up the brains before this one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my show is definitely a different vibe. But I think, like you said, different content for different type of people. So,
right. That's why I'm a big fan of your show, because it's really for diehard Aeons.
Yes,
it's still like a fun hangout conversation. So you can, whether it's Persist Forever or Into the Cognosphere, like, for someone who's really into it, like me, and anybody who's really into just in general, like any specific coin, like, you kind of constantly want to consume, that new digital city state, if you will, digital nation. You want to constantly like be a part of it for the most part. You get kind of obsessed with it if it's a very, very good coin and idea and good people. And especially one like SPX, where it's grown so much that now there's all these like characters that you kind of want to keep up with. They kind of pop up, and you're like, for instance, I remember when Unk 6900 popped up for the first time. I was like,
yes.
Oh, interesting. Like, who's this guy? Like, this guy can talk. Like, he's kind of firing me up, but he's definitely new,
Yeah.
And then, your episodes are great, because I get this, like, again, it's for a diehard Aeon. Like, I can sit down and listen to this, and I can feel his passion.
Did you listen to the Unk one? Did you listen to that one?
Yeah.
That one was fun.
It was awesome.
Well, he was awesome. It blew me away how his episodes, he kind of is. His content is kind of a character, but it was much more down to earth and like smart. I don't mean this offensively, but he was smarter than I would have expected. To be honest, because he does the drinking content. It's fun, It's not.
Well, I felt the same way, and like and again, I don't mean this disrespectfully. Right. I kind of felt the same way about the Nick episode too.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about the Unk episode and the Nick episode, because all the videos I'd seen were him like
party
yelling
time,
stuff, and I was like, this has fired me up. We need to be doing this. But I didn't know him as a person. I didn't get to know, like, why does he think the way he does? And when you get to know these people, you get to know in a little bit more detail, like, their background, their history, what made them who they are. Like, for instance, Unk being a door-to-door salesperson made complete sense to me. He's
probably really good.
The guy's fearless, right?
Yep.
And this was, I think, separate than the episode, but he posted the Christmas video where he was talking about sobriety.
Yes.
Which I found super inspirational for a lot of, personal reasons, for my family. So, that kind of stuff like really humanizes, all the people that are, at first glance just look like girls on the internet. but it's much deeper, right? And that's the kind of stuff too that I think. Sorry, there's a little fly going around here. That's the kind of stuff that makes me, and I'm sure other people, feel excited, go from like trepidation to excitement, to be like, dude, I want to go to Greenville. I want to meet these people in real life. Like,
Unk's
I
gonna be
know
there,
them and they're my friend. You
just
know,
saying. Unk's gonna be there. Just saying.
Oh hell yeah!
And Nick and Batman. You know,
Nice.
the guy who almost got struck by lightning. And
Oh, I know. I know. That was another coded early episode of yours.
It never ceases to crack me up. He also gets struck by lightning, gets on a new show, runs against an SPX shirt. That's amazing.
I know.
I gotta get it printed.
That was, like one of the best parts about this, and personally, like my favorite. Like I think I actually have come to the conclusion that I like the idea of digital nations, and I think that that's true. I posted at the end of last year, this post that was like a concept around the gold rush and how the crypto gold rush is done. But at the end of the gold rush, what happened, right? There were amazing like cities in California that were built, and amazing wealth was created in those cities. But you couldn't just show up with like a pickaxe anymore and win. Like that game was done. Right. But the people who can create the cities from there, can not only amass great wealth, but also have an amazing journey. But I do think that the line between movement coins and whether you want to call them pure belief assets or cult coins or whatever, right? Like the coins that are clearly not just complete shit coins, but they are like a mission feels forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those feel closer to me to like a digital nation of some sort. But SPX in its own category feels like a true digital movement on top of a digital nation. It's like it's like if we were building Shanghai and we were like, we want to make this the most ergonomic city in the world.
Sure.
Like we're building the city and we're bringing people to it.
We have a purpose to it.
Yes, there's a subtext that like this is why this city exists and why we feel so passionately that this must be done. Right? Because the world is dealing with climate change and we have to make it sustainable.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's just for the analogy. But
that's what you mean.
Where was I going with this? But you kind of, there are these characters that are developed, and the characters keep multiplying. And unless you stay on top of it and you go to events or you listen to your show, like you end up not being a part of the founding of one of these great nations. And that gives people FOMO, So I don't know. That's how I feel. There's like a line between like a digital nation and what I feel like we're on, which is like a digital journey or adventure or movement or any of those terms. And it's just exciting to constantly have like new faces that are going to be friends.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, I had a thought. The digital nation thing I think is a good analogy. This is what I was going to say. I've increasingly stopped even caring about the mission or about the goal. This is kind of weird. I really don't even think about it or really care too much about it. For me now, it's just about the community. That's it. And I just want to see it grow. If the mission brings people in, cool. That's
awesome, man. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I kind of feel similarly in the sense that like
maybe
the rush of the mission is kind of
because when you talk about it for so long, it's like okay, I know
right. Yeah, it's the importance of it. I think has only grown, and my conviction in it has only grown. Like a year ago, I still did it, but I felt kind of crazy about the idea that like, okay, I'm just gonna like hold and I guess buy more of this thing, I think it's growing. I think that all these metrics are really good, but it still felt so new. You know what I mean? And so for me, like at that point, the anchor was like, okay, we have to flip the stock market. And that's still a great anchor. Like, I think that's really good at I'm a salesperson by trade, right? Like I think about the funnel. It's really good at customer loyalty. Like it keeps people engaged. There's a reason for people to stay involved. Whereas like, I know, prior to SPX, like you were a Sproto, like I've been in the Ticker Bitcoin community. Obviously I'm still in like the Giga and Apu communities. And I love all those communities, but it is a different, like people kind of come and go as they please, even though they're more diehard because there's not this like urgency that the 500 is going to win.
Yes.
So I think you reach a point where you're kind of like, okay, it's still really important. And that's still the underlying thesis and glue that keeps everyone together. But day to day, I've actually like become close enough with some of these people that they're my priority over the rest, you know?
Yeah. It's weird. And not everybody we can't be like, yeah, you should just join because it's fun. You need the message. So I'm not saying
you need the message. It's true. And maybe this could also just be us talking through what's been a pretty like boring year plus in crypto, and you know, price has been kind of boring, and we still have stuff to do, and so that's more interesting.
Right.
Could be that.
Yeah. I can't wait till when it gets crazy again, because it's going to be not just because of the price action. It's like it's just going to be fun to see all the new people and how they're going to react to it.
Dude, I feel the same. It's low key. I'm trying to remember who originally said this. It might have been Nicole, but that like they felt who was it? Was it Based God? Might have said that whoever it was said that they thought that the dev of SPX was basically doing a social experiment. I think it was Based God.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and which was another really good interview. And that they wanted to see, you know, basically if they burned the 6.9% and delete all the socials and everything, like who would stick around? I think it was before the term was coined, but who would basically persist forever. And I almost feel like this is just kind of one big social experiment. And obviously it's so much more, but I feel the same way. Like I can't wait for more people to get involved. And also I like when there's more social interest, just because to me, it like increases the powers that be are on the side of lunacy. And I like that, you know, like if CNBC or some TradFi person is posting like, what the fuck is this SPX 6900 thing? Like, this is so stupid. Why are you idiots buying this? Like that kind of thing. And then there's like 300 Aeon replies. Like,
hey, we had Scarelli against us that one time. That was hilarious.
That's what I was thinking when I said that.
Kruger, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Kruger. Yeah, Shkreli was a great example. But I don't know. It's just fun to kind of be like, okay, yeah, good luck defeating our army of 150. Like, beep boop, we are bot reply guys. You're not going to win.
Dude, so the reply guying lately, the reply guying on most random posts, I've just seen so many people reply guying random ass posts, which I think is great.
Yeah,
I love.
I always see like Trucks and some other people like.
Yes,
like Joe the Grower, like always just random Hail Marys.
Ponzi, the Ponzi infiltrator has been done a lot.
Oh, infiltrator, yeah.
So many, like just around, like this is the most random thing, but I think that's probably the most effective reply guying you could do, because sometimes between all of us, let's be real, it's kind of just a circle jerk if we're being honest about it.
I mean, that's any like crypto, like it's not
fun,
growing, you know?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't mean that it's bad. It can be super fun, honestly. But
I think it's important, actually. If we didn't do it, I mean, it's like a ritual or whatever you want to call it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's also a way to like where people get to kind of express their personalities a little bit. Like sometimes I like trying to be this like pseudo intellectual munchies type of person or tans that I really can't live up to. But I like to like try to challenge myself to think that way. Sometimes I just want to say some stupid shit and like 6,900 is a bigger number. Like, come at me.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's fun to kind of tap into the various personalities.
Yeah, it depends on the day. But the vast majority of my X posts are largely not intelligent, but I enjoy doing it.
I mean, I actually also, so something I've done recently is, I think a theme of the back half of last year was, you know, maximalism, and a lot of conversations about like purity, which I think are really important.
Yep.
And you know, frankly, like I've never been just an SPX ever.
Yeah, sure.
But SPX has always been my favorite coin and the community I've related to most, because I think it's been so successful for all the reasons that we could discuss. I think it's grown the most. And I don't know, I reached a point where I felt like I don't want to feel disingenuous to myself. So there are times where I only really want to talk about like SPX, or there are times where I want to talk more about like Giga or Apu or something. So I went and created alts for all of those. So that when I want to like really lean into that side of my personality, I can do it. Cow is like who I am. That's how I think about it. But there are times where I'm like, oh, I'm really into fitness right now. Like I want to talk about this specific part of fitness. Yeah. That way I don't feel like I have to like, I don't know, I don't have to force that out of Cow, who I just want to represent like my personality as a whole.
Yep.
That might sound kind of crazy. It definitely is. Like,
sounds a little schizo, not gonna lie.
A little schizo, yeah. It's the Hmong methodology. That's what it is.
No, a lot of people do that, and I get that. I think Useless Flame actually recently created an Aeon alt. So, yeah, whatever works for you. For me, I can't have alts. Like, I couldn't keep up with it. I think I'd go crazy. There's just no way I could do it.
I have a...
I didn't know posting stuff on the wrong one, I would fuck it up.
That's fair. That's fair. I have like a worrisome amount of alts that, like for other purposes, like for work and stuff, that like I don't really like post from or like use actively. But you know, we just have them. And so I don't know, like I had to make a lot of those bios and like profiles, and I was genuinely like kind of scared at how naturally it came to me to like, it's like, okay, let's make 25 Twitter profiles that are like crypto Twitter-esque. You know, we have different people that are like running them all, but it was my job to like design the personalities and stuff of them. And I was like, wow, this came a little too naturally to me. You know, I just siphoned off like 30 parts of my brain. That's a little concerning.
That's crazy. Yeah. It may be crazy.
It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the alt thing because there are times where I kind of want to like talk my book and be like,
yeah,
SPX is the best coin, you know?
Yep.
And I do largely believe that, but you know, I want to say it with the gusto of someone that like,
you like the other communities too.
I do too. Yeah. I like them as well. And I feel I'm a very loyal person. You know, it's hard for me to be like, I've been involved in the other one. I was involved in the other ones before SPX too. Like,
right.
So I've been in some of them for almost 2 years at this point. Like I have friends in them. I talk to them every day. Like they're also part of me. So, but there are times where I want to lean into any one of them individually. So I don't post from them much, but I made them like a couple weeks ago, and it's just nice to have another place where when I'm feeling more like that side of myself, I can tap into it.
That makes total sense to me. Yeah, for me, it's just like I said, I can't do all. It's just too much. So I've just leaned into SPX. That's just what it is now. Yeah,
I think it's great. I don't think there's any shame in that route. I honestly, for me, I just got really embedded in the other ones first, and so I was like, I have a lot of friends in these, and I don't want to. I don't know. I feel attached to them as well. And so I think both of those things matter, but I do really respect Nicole and,
you said, you talking about Space or the other? Nicole?
Yeah.
Space, okay.
Space fruit / vegetable.
Yeah.
Space produce.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Hmong and like Joe the Grower has been great about it. Just in general, Baprol's obviously great about it. Like in general, the OGs and even the newer people who are good about respectful protection of culture. Hype, obviously. I think that's really important because Hmong had a post a while ago about how as we grow, there will be sort of new attempts to basically infiltrate and sabotage the movement, because this is where liquidity has gathered. This is where people have gathered, and people are valuable. Liquidity is valuable. That's what these like, you know, smaller projects want. And I don't think all of them are malicious. Like for instance, I'm pretty close with Wizard from Y2K. I don't think he's malicious at all. I think he's an awesome guy. But in general, there are a lot for every good wizard. There's, you know, 10 people who are genuinely just trying to, you know, snake people from the community, snake their money. And I think it's really important for us to be able to like kind of actively promote maximalism and just general purity. So if you want to be in like one or two other things that are still quite good, that's amazing still too. But that we can decipher and delineate that like other things, I mean, yeah, like you got to prove your intentions. You got to show up for 6 months. You got to actually be a part of this. And then if you want to have some other weird thing, like fine, but we're probably not going to engage with that, you know?
Yeah, that's basically what I mute people all the time, to be honest with you. And then I unmute them. I mute them and then I'll unmute them. Okay, I'll listen.
Timeout.
Yeah, you're in timeout for now. You talked about that random coin a little too much for me. I need to. You need to go away for a bit.
I hear you. No, keeping your timeline clean is everything. If I learned anything in setting up obviously I know the people to follow.
I will say, if it's a direct ripoff of SPX.
Oh yeah, there are some non-negotiables. Like anyone benching,
yeah,
anyone who is just raw dogging CAs, which is crazy. Unless it's like SPX or like if you're just dropping a new ticker, I'm just like, that's
nope.
For a while. You actually might just be fully gone.
Yeah.
Anyone who is just like kind of generally a crypto nihilist or someone who's just like very negative about like, I can't deal with those people. Most traders, there's some people that I follow because I'm just kind of like, you seem smart and like good at what you do, and I respect that. And like, there's some people that I kind of like, okay, like generally, how's the market doing? But I also don't really care that much about that because like we'll know when things are heating up. You know?
Yeah, I do. I really like if you want to follow somebody that makes you feel good about the market. Yeah, Raoul Pal is a good one, even though he's our mortal. Even though he is our mortal enemy. But
I was gonna say,
he will make you feel good about the market if you want to listen.
We're infiltrating Real Vision one person at a time.
There you go. It's funny. I think they recommended it several months ago in one of their reports. Recommended SPX. Yeah, like a degen amount or whatever they call it.
I wonder if the big boss took a look at that. The crazy part about Raoul Pal too is like he's obviously smart, but he's also like, it's funny to me people who think SPX is crazy, and then it's like, yo, you're in like, what was his thing? Like he was in like smoking chicken fish.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was wild.
It's like, dude, are we that crazy? Come on.
Well, there's that group that are like, okay, y'all are trying too hard is I think their view of us. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just all about
it's supposed to be funny.
It's supposed to be funny, nihilistic. Right. Well, y'all are trying too hard. Yeah. So I think that's the smoking. That's so dumb. The smoking chicken fish view, which I think is dead now. I think it's practically zero at this point.
It's got to be dead. It's got to be dead.
I think it's like literally almost zero now.
Some of these sometimes I like to like go back and like just see like what absurd price did these reach?
It got over 100 million.
It did. It went pretty high. I remember.
It went crazy amount.
Wow. And I just remember like the people who were posting it, I like looked at a couple of their posts and I was like, this can't be something I'm a part of. You know what I mean?
See, I was kind of a part of that though. Like, not that necessarily specifically, but I came from that frame of mind where I was like, let's just pump the most retarded shit. Like, it's fun to me. Because I was a Sproto before, so it's
sure. That makes sense. No, I mean, I was not opposed to that. I was just saying like long term. I a smoking chicken fish maxi, you know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know if that sentence has ever been uttered, but
it was definitely a cycle play, we'll call it. And then if the cycle is not cycling like we thought it was going to cycle, then you might want to get the fuck out.
I'm 100%. I'm not good at being a cycle guy, even though I'm like terminally online, and I don't know. I talk to a lot of people who are like, I think more like trader oriented, or more like they're like, I guess put it this way, they're more pragmatic about like crypto or just generally like startups or any of that stuff. Like I'm a dreamer and I'm a loyalist and I'm kind of a romantic, and so I like the idea of like, dude, I don't want to ever sell my SPX coins.
Right.
Like that was what I was always looking for in the general meme coin category. Like, who can I invest in for a decade plus and be a part of, and they're going to keep showing up, and we're actually going to make something meaningful. And there's obviously no way to actually be able to tell that ahead of time. But that's why when I found SPX, I was like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense to me. This has probably the highest chance of doing that. But of course, time is the biggest tell. And so the last year and a half almost that it's been since I've joined has been proof of that. And so that's why I feel like I found such a home here. And also why I feel close to the Giga and Apu guys, just because I've been along with the ride, along for the ride with them as well.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just have a hard time trading, not because I can't, like, I don't know, maybe I could be good at like the chart thing if I learned it, but it's not me. Like, no. I like the loyalty.
Yes. Well,
to I am.
Yeah. I was involved in lots of small communities, and it was fun. Like, we would like come up with crazy ideas, and it was a blast. And actually, me and Dubbing were in quite a few of these together. back then.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and turns out Monge was in several of them that I was involved in. So it was a different. I mean, all that stuff. When liquidity is flowing, you could pump anything. You could pump. You could pump a rock. Like you could pump. Literally,
we did pump a rock.
You could pump anything.
What were rocks? What were they called? Ether rocks? What were they selling last cycle? I'm actually going to look this up really quickly.
So
they were selling for like, dude, $400,000 or something.
Yeah, you could pump a smoking chicken fish. You can pump whatever.
Right.
So
1.3 million, dude, an Ether rock NFT sold for.
That's funny. That's just hilarious. But I eventually you kind of mature and get over it, and then
right.
This was, I mean, that all felt like dirty and dingy looking back on it, but it was kind of it was fun. It was like a fun experience. But
yeah.
But SBX is out of that horror show. I think SPX has risen above it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, it was a necessary thing, right?
Yeah.
We kind of like SPX would be much weaker, as would any surviving coins, if they hadn't survived, the sort of liquidity mania that occurred with all of the other ideas kind of coming out at the same time. It hardened in pressure makes diamonds, right? And it hardened the community and it hardened like the supply to show that over time, like these are memetically superior ideas.
Yes. Another thing I was sorry before you get to
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, a lot of people say, "Oh, the price action hasn't been good." Some people are newer, like you can't say this. Look at the price. It's like you don't realize who our competitor is. Our competitors are Memecoins. Compared to Memecoins, we're doing extremely well. We're doing amazingly well. We're
doing well compared to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone is like insane, right?
Well, we've held up better than like some of the big L ones that were supposed to be the Suis and all those. We're holding up better than those. But anyways,
we will continue to.
Yeah, right.
But no, you're totally right about the competitor thing. And there's two other things about that and about the trenches in general that I think are important. And the first is like Blue has said this a few times. All the other ideas have kind of been taken. We're on like our fourth troll coin and like our sixth Wojak. Like you can either try to do some new spin on an old piece of culture, which has likely already been done and is just a coaster heading to zero. Or you can try to do like event-based, virality-based tokens, but everyone knows there's an expiration date. Yep. And so, sure, it doesn't mean that there won't ever be another token that's like good. That's, I think, kind of naive, but
it'll be some time.
It'll be some time. And even when there is a new token, like that token will have to go through all of like, the pressure making diamonds that we've been through. And so it just doesn't make any sense, I think, to be a part of that. And the second thing I'll say is like, I like I said, I was looking for like my forever home prior to SPX and prior to Giga and Apu as well, even though I got into them first. There was like a cat coin that I got into, like at the beginning of 2024.
What was it? Name it.
It was Hee Hee Cat. I don't know if you know that cat.
That does sound sort of familiar. I remember there was.
It was like an old meme from like 2017.
Oh, the Hee Hee.
Yeah. It's like a little gray kitten.
I think I do remember that one. I never bought any, but I do remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I bought some just because like I actually knew the meme.
Yeah,
like I saw it a bunch on Reddit back in the day, and I bought it early and it like did pretty well, and so I managed to like kind of become an admin in the community and like try to. That was actually how originally I kind of developed my voice for Cow, because I had never posted before. Like I was not a Twitter person for crypto specifically.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was fun to be a part of. Like I liked that the chat was always going off. Like there were little characters that were a part of the community. But then obviously as time goes on, like, generally like there were good people in that coin. But you just can't keep them interested forever because everyone's trying to make money.
And it's also just, it's not you go ahead, but it's not,
it's not a deep idea. It's not an investment. Like it's that simple. Right?
It's a fun, stupid thing.
It's just a fun, stupid thing at a point in time. And there happen to be people who are involved in the fun, stupid thing. And like, that's all that's happening. Right. But when like you're newer to the space, maybe you're a bit more naive, or there's like, like during the Mania of 2024, like it was harder to tell like who was going to win that race. It's sad to watch a token die. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Leave. People who used to post about it stop posting about it, or they leave Twitter altogether. And then no one starts buying it. And so you just can't be a believer in like the new things. Sorry. It doesn't make sense. The odds that you go down that journey are extremely high. So all the good ideas are taken, and any new ideas, the odds that you are in that sad position of being like a sorry believer are very high too. So, join the movement.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
If you're interested in meme coins and want to join a community, SPX is an obvious, or not. I should say obvious. I don't think it's obvious to most people, but
it's just like, dude, we're gonna show up. Like we like to show up.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
You don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, if you show up every day, you will be rewarded, and you'll have a good time at the bare minimum. And you can participate as much or as little or as much as you want to. So that's the cool thing about it. Like I have. Like on Into the Cognosphere, there's some people who show up every single week and comment and watch and enjoy that. And that's like, I think that's like one of their main ways to participate, which I think is cool. So the more avenues.
People too, like Tristan and Chang, like who are just
Telegram guys.
They're in the TG like
constantly.
When I first joined, like I actually thought like some of the TG people were bots, because I'm like, I've never seen you offline before. Like they just are just in there hanging out 24/7.
I legit didn't think Chang was real. I'll be honest with you. I thought he might. I thought he might be something. Anyways, I did a podcast with him the other day.
I heard.
He's definitely. I can't wait to release. Oh, it was very.
And then over time, they express their personalities enough where you're like, okay,
they're real.
Like, the person, right? But like, wow, they're into this. You know?
Yeah, no, Undy's great. All those guys are great. So the TG's definitely got a core. If you really want to get deep into SPX, the TG's a fun place to be.
That's the way.
Yes. Okay, well, I don't even know where I was at. Let me look. How do you think the movement has evolved since we spoke in like September?
Oh man. I think the main way that it's evolved has been the expansion beyond X, which I'm really happy about. I think there's two reasons for that. I guess three, because obviously like we kind of talked about this 6 to 9 months ago, all of us, and decided to try to infiltrate other platforms.
Yep.
So that's a big reason, but I think more than that, X changed the algorithm. And a lot of the old methods for DMing, like they kind of broke, and crypto words got deprioritized or whatnot in the algorithm. And so, anyone who is solely reliant on X, for crypto in general, or for a community, was automatically given like a 5X handicap. And I think that cemented our status as like the most kind of widely proliferated and propagated idea, because I'm sure you do, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. Like I don't spend all my time on Twitter. Like I'll pop on YouTube when I go for a run or something like that and listen to something, or sometimes I'll go on Reddit when I'm like, I just kind of want like less, like more mindless content. And we're everywhere. I see some Giga guys here and there. I see some Apu guys here and there, but and I see some Sprotos here and there, but it's mostly just SPX people everywhere, and certainly the only people who are producing consistently. And if I ever wanted to be like, I want to break from Twitter, I'm going to go on Reddit or something.
Yeah,
I would find 100 people ready to talk.
Yeah.
So I think couple that with the IRL stuff that is developing. And this is going from, it already went from idea to something with substance last year, right? But I think this is going from something with substance to the initial stages of crossing the chasm. I think there's an argument to be made that we've already crossed the chasm. But like you said, I think the fact that the people in this keep you going is actually better than, the idea of flipping the stock market, keeping you going, because these are almost like little tribes that exist within the broader tribe of SPX. And we've now been doing this for long enough that dude, I know I'm going to be hanging out here in like 3 years, right? Yep. Maybe it'll change. Maybe how I hang out will change. Maybe the types of things we talk about will change a little bit, because as you noted in your Into the Cognosphere episode recently, when we get to 500 billion, $1 trillion, whatever, yes, the environment is going to change, right? And that's okay. That's what growth is. But I don't want to stop hanging out with the people and being a part of the thing.
Yes.
And I know it's not just me who thinks that. And so as a result, I think that it has become much more real, and it has become much more of a family. And because of that, the product is just much better,
Yep.
Like you said at the beginning of this, anyone who got into this, or who would get into this now or in 6 months, is going to have a way more developed idea to be a part of than, when we got into it.
Yeah. And I think I see that was true for us if you compare to the OGs. So whenever they started, it was nothing.
For sure.
So it just keeps compounding that's the fundamental value. If
yeah.
And I think another way for me to think about it is it's like a social network. I think I made a tweet about it. I called it the Cognosphere entertainment system. It's like
oh, I like that.
But not only is it like a thing you get to enjoy and consume, it's something that you get to also participate in. Not only do you get to participate in it, you also get to make it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an idea that gets called on,
yeah,
and you've had several ideas that have called on, and lots of people do, and some people don't. But the more you get into it, you will see sometimes an idea or a thing you said get propagated, and that's really cool to see that.
Dude, I totally agree. It's interesting because it's obviously in companies there's this idea of flat structures where anybody can go to the boss with an idea, and you have the CEO, and then all the employees are right under him, and no one really, it's supposed to be this very free flowing ideology, but it never works in a traditional corporate structure, because people are naturally incentivized to actually care about the thing. They want to get paid. Yep. Their priorities are either to get promoted or to just do the bare minimum to keep their job and collect a paycheck. But the incentive mechanism for us is not only do we have token, if the tokens, if we want the tokens,
right,
but we're also buying teeny tiny coins every day.
Yep.
And so every day you're becoming more incentivized to mold the world that you're theoretically buying more into every day. So it actually is a perfect flat structure in the sense that there isn't anyone on top. Maybe there are some people who have slightly more influence because they've been around longer or something, but those people are there. There's a reason they've been around a long time, they're well-intentioned, and anyone can come in with a great idea. And if it's a great idea, it will be embraced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Creatine had the idea about, I feel like they really pushed the DCA thing. I feel like that was the kickstart of posting the DCA.
Dude. I miss Creatine. I know Creatine has been, they deleted their account, right?
Yeah, they did, but guess they're on Reddit now.
Oh, sick. Okay.
They're still on Reddit. I don't know why they deleted their account. I think it's got something to do with the fact that X kind of doxed global, you could see, they're from the USA, or they're from X country. As soon as that happened, they deleted their account. So I assume that's why.
Let's see.
Don't know that for sure. I think they were very protective of their identity.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, they're on Reddit though. So they're in the Reddit chat.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So
I'll shoot him a message there. He absolutely started the DCA culture stuff. And I had been, we talked about a year ago, holding a quote unquote meme coin seemed crazy to me, for a year plus, 5 years plus, whatever. And I'm sure it would a lot of people as well, a good amount of it. But, in April of last year, I decided, as many aeons eventually reach, the conclusion of you can never really have enough teeny tiny coins.
Yep.
Also because they're useful for various things. Like I said, I've sent a lot of SPX to my friends because number one, I want them to make money on it and to like enjoy the fruits of what the original promise that I made them was when I had them invest in the other thing. But also because it's fucking fun and it's cool to be a part of. And even though I'm calling my friend on the phone, I'm telling him, this is why, here's the left curve version of flipping the stock market. Here's the right curve version. These are the sort of, these are the analogies or the similar properties that it has to Bitcoin and why like this is a perfect time for Bitcoin reincarnation. I can sit here and tell you all these things. If you're more skeptical, you might think I'm retarded. That's okay. Like that's okay with me. But they will enjoy it when their time has come, right? They will believe in something when their time has come, and they're holding the tokens anyway, so they're gonna benefit from it. But my point is, like, I started DCAing back in April of last year, but I was doing like $100 a week or something because it just felt like such a novel thing. I was like, what if I DCA'd this for 10 years? And I DCA'd
I remember that,
$100 a month.
You were definitely a big part of that too. Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't. I'm not even saying it for that. I just did it for my own personal, like I was genuinely curious. Like, okay, like worst case scenario, I lose, like $1,000 or $2,000 a year or whatever it is. And, sure, it's kind of like, it's a bummer, but it'll incentivize me to like be as involved as possible. Right. Cause I'm constantly like putting more capital into this. So I might as well put more effort into this. And then other people like basically started spreading the idea a bit more, starting with creatine. And then people started talking about it on Spaces. And I was like, wait a second, like if everyone does this, aren't we just taking like 1% of the float every day and putting it away forever? And also, wouldn't this reaffirm that for the most diehard believers that their efforts are worth it because now they have more stake in the network? So I think that was probably one of the biggest like innovations of the last year that we all collectively came to. And it was started by creatine because like I said, mine was inward. Mine was just like my own experiment. And I actually also ended up deleting it because I was like, I actually got worried because I was like, dude, this is like going to be too, like if we go to like $200, I was posting a spreadsheet that was updating every day. And I'm like, I'm going to be posting that like, this is worth $1 million or something. I don't want to do that. That's scary. If I've shown my face or something. So anyway, I that was such an important innovation of the last year because it lets people go from shrimp to dolphin. I don't know, dolphin from whale. It depends on the size of the DCAs, but just become like bigger and better aeons, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, this is a side point. Is it go from whale to dolphin? Is that the way it goes, or is there something in between? I can't remember.
I think it's like, I don't know. I've always said shrimp to dolphin to whale.
That's what I've always said too. I think some people do it a little different, anyways.
I mean, there's not any formal rules or like, how much makes you a whale. Like, there's not like a formal kind of, claim to any of those. Generally, I think the bigger the coin, the less of the supply you need to be a dolphin or to be a whale or something.
Right.
Just because
it changes over time. Yeah.
Right. If you have, 1% of SPX versus 1% of, what was it called? Not Southern fried chad, smoking chicken fish. Because it's also
Southern fried chad.
It's also SCF. I used to that's SCF.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said if you have 1% of Southern fried chad. No, if you have 1% of smoking chicken fish, then that is a little less valuable than 1% of SPX. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Bitcoin is the same way. The whale definition changes.
Right.
MicroStrategy is the biggest whale at this point. Well, technically Satoshi is, but we all think he's not going to access them. So it's kind of, most people put that in the dead supply category. But
it's Baprol, isn't it? Satoshi's Baprol.
Theoretically, they could move it. Hopefully, they don't. That would. What
if they did just to fuck with everyone? that would instantly nuke Bitcoin probably.
Oh, it would be a rough one. That'd be a rough day. Yeah. Everybody'd freak.
Had to buy some dinner. moved a couple coins.
Satoshi's just actually a DJ and he's shorting the market. He's like, I'm gonna move the coins real quick. 100x short.
This anonymous hyperliquid whale took a $400 million short.
Gotcha. It was a 15-year plan, 20-year plan. Did it.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, strategy is the de facto whale. And so something I've been thinking more about, the last year, obviously TradFi got more interested in crypto, even though the price wasn't that interesting. There's a weird divergence in like retail crypto Twitter and institutional crypto Twitter where, institutions are more interested in crypto than ever. Yep. Right. And I think it's kind of natural that retail's as uninterested as ever because crypto is inherently kind of cypherpunk as a concept. Right. So like, unless there's a vehicle like SPX that feels very countercultural, like nobody's like jumping out of their chair for joy that JP Morgan's launching on ETH because it's JP Morgan. They only care because they hope that, ETH's price goes up or whatever.
Yeah. Speculation.
Right? Yeah. Like nobody cares about institutions is what I'm trying to say. In fact, maybe they do care, but they care out of, because they despise institutions, because they hate them, right? Because the 500 is notoriously awful. So there's a huge divergence because there's all these TradFi people that are very excited about the potential of crypto, about the ETFs, about, integration of TradFi systems. And Murad has talked about this before, but Michael Saylor's he's like the TradFi retail whisperer, right? He can talk to, a sovereign wealth fund and, a bulge bracket bank or, a liquid fund or whatever. And then he can go talk to a podcast guest that people like us are going to listen to. And we also get like that Murad to SPX type of feeling, right? Now Tom Lee is obviously doing that with Ethereum. And there's a few other people that are doing that. Like Kyle Samani, I think, is kind of doing that with Solana. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more kind of general interest in what else is out there on chain from, I don't want to say institutions, but like from more sophisticated buyers, put it. I know this was kind of a discussion on the last Into the Cognosphere, and obviously, Hype and other people have very passionate opinions about this. I generally am on the team that like, I quite like SPX's countercultural aesthetic. I do think we have to accept that over time it will change with adoption. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, I still think that countercultural can exist. It's just like people filter into the different parts of it that appeal to them most. But my point in saying all of that is like, I think that for the first time in a long time, big money is comfortable with what crypto can be. And actually, now that, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, fiat was not as widely dismissed, I think, as it is now.
Yeah.
People are starting to accept that, like, okay, the US dollar was like kind of our last hope for like any form of I guess, fiat that's somewhat responsible, any fiscal responsibility. And that is clearly out the window. And so what can take its place? Like gold is not a good medium of exchange, right? Bitcoin is, and it's not. I mean, there's arguments either way. But it actually, it kind of prompts the question of like, what is currency, right? And what is money? And like, if we go all the way back to the days where people were trading donkeys for wheat or something, right? It's just like, these are just things that are consensus vehicles of exchange and units of account of some kind. And so I think if big money, to bring this all together, is starting to get to that conclusion, like, and retail is obviously already there and kind of hates the US dollar and the structure and system as a whole, what's going to happen when fiat is disregarded as a unit of account and a medium of exchange, and instead Bitcoin and or maybe a few other of these consensus vehicles are kind of embraced, right? Yep. And I think that is inevitable because they're going to keep printing. These things are finite supply, and things like SPX are growing, right? So that transition won't be like an immediate one, but that it's, I think, an inevitable tailwind for all the people who want to get to 69,000. Like eventually, even the people who have $10 million, $30 million, like they have to get interested in this stuff because there are no alternatives in the world of investable assets.
Right.
So obviously like there's some controversy in that because it's a very like antithetical idea to peaceful life over greed. And, there's kind of an eat the rich mentality in SPX, which I think is super justified. But it is, I think it's interesting to think through the implications of that because personally, I want the old system to die. I think the old system is very broken, and I don't like seeing Americans and more broadly the world struggling to like pay rent and for food and just dealing with the existential crisis of like, hey, what I'm getting paid is depreciating 10% a year and everything I have to pay for is going up 10% a year. Like this is an awful standard of life. So I'm hopeful that like these are actually solutions. I guess to Pluterme's point, wealth redistribution to some extent for believer types. And similar to how Bitcoin thought of institutions as their exit liquidity, I don't even think it has to necessarily be that blunt, but I basically am saying that I think big money is going to have to buy bags like SPX because they have no other choice. And I think that is a good reward for people who have been around for a long time. And also, even though it could be culturally divisive, potentially, it creates an inevitability in flipping the stock market. If we get to 5%, 10%, all of a sudden, like the memetics are extremely strong to get that remaining 95, 90%. Yep. So that's something I've been thinking about. It's a little conflicting because, you don't, it's like inherently anti-institution, but you know what I mean?
I think what I've reached is like, we can't control what people do. We can't control what institutions do. If they decided for some reason they thought SPX was the best coin ever, which is not going to happen anytime soon, but if they did, there's nothing we can do about that. That's just is what it is.
Yeah. So, no, you're right.
So
yeah, we can't do anything about it. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying is like, we can't do anything about it, but also I think because it's what the people want, the institutions will end up following.
No, I agree. I do think it's inevitable once it gets to a certain size and there's actually liquidity there. And I think, was it Patermes who said it too? Like we should get as many regular people in before that happens.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly. And, I guess like as someone who works full time in crypto and, has been watching for the last like 3 years, and talking to a lot of like institutional players, if they get really involved in this stuff, which they have started to, crypto will be the future of how currency works and how currency operates. Right. And so what are the second and third order effects of that? I guess is the question that needs to be thought through for people. And it creates an inevitability around things like SPX, which I guess, is an important factor in us eventually flipping the stock market. Right. Mm-hmm. And right now we care all about the people. And I think that's amazing. But you know what? Like if we're at 58 trillion and the stock market's at 80 trillion, like, I can only imagine the amount of energy around getting that last like 20, 22, throw $1 in here, $1 in there, like one teeny coin is 50 grand. Like it doesn't matter. We just have to get it done,
Oh man, dude. Yeah.
Anyway, that's something that I've been thinking about, but also because I've had to like have a lot of conversations with more like TradFi type of people, and they're like so excited about crypto stuff. And it's like polar opposite of retail people outside of SPX.
Yeah, it's retail tends to buy when there's parabolas and gets involved. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like hopefully when the parabolas do eventually come, because crypto's not dead, Bitcoin's not. I mean, I can't believe we're having these conversations.
I know.
It's like if Bitcoin's at 90K, people like what the hell? I know gold outperformed it for 1 year, but Jesus, doesn't mean it's over. Like it's ridiculous.
Have you ever seen those Ben Cohen charts where he's like, it'll be like gold versus BTC, and Peter Schiff will be like, last week gold was up 20%, or like, I don't know, 10%, and Bitcoin was down 20%. And then Ben Cohen's like, great, now you just need like a 5x to be down 99.7%.
Right. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Bitcoin didn't. I mean, Bitcoin didn't have like a terrible year either. And,
it was fine. I mean, there were a lot of terrible things that happened, I think, in the sense that like 1010 was catastrophic for a lot of people. Trump coin was catastrophic for a lot of people. There were obviously good side effects, in the sense that a lot of bad coins died, and that's good. I mean, I'll stand by that, right? But I'll be sensitive to the fact that like
people had money.
It was hard on people, yeah. But I think these are good things for the industry. Like, I think that eventually the big money has to come for the legitimacy to stay. So I think that's good, and I think that, like I said at the beginning of this, the scammer types, the types that are, even if you're not a scammer and you're just looking for a quick 2x, like these people have to lose. At the end of they do. Like to create an efficient market, you need traders who are hyper competitive, who are fighting to make 5%, and slow trends up over time.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and we had from a pure crypto, like it was fundamentals wise, last year was incredible. Just
for sure.
Yeah, it's set up. The setup is great. It's basically like, I think Murad said this and plenty of others too, but is the 4-year prophecy going to stay true? We'll see. And if it is, that's fine. We have more time to accumulate, and then we'll go from there. But
yeah,
we'll see.
You remember Grimace? I'm sure Grimace XBT.
Yes.
Yeah. Hope he's doing well. I know he's had some health stuff. I miss him. He was one of the goated posters of last summer, but he obviously was like an early Bitcoin guy, and then bought a bunch of SPX on the Coach candle, and to my knowledge has never touched any of it, which is super admirable. But he made a post back in July, I think, about how like there's so many tailwinds for crypto as a whole, but how he expected through the end of, or at least through Q4 of last year, it was going to feel really tense and uncomfortable, because like that's the moment of truth for the 4-year cycle, right?
Yeah.
And if it goes up, you feel good, and then you feel bad, and if it goes down, you feel fucking bad, right? So there's not really a great middle ground, and thankfully now we're kind of on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Like, obviously anything's possible. This could be a bear market year, but now we're at this point where it's like, okay, there's a lot of money on the sidelines that decided to go with the 4-year cycle theory. And the longer it doesn't go down, the higher the odds it goes up. And if it starts to go up, they're going to FOMO back in. And all of a sudden we actually have like a way stronger parabola, because you don't have people scared that like this is the last year. So it's really weird psychology, but
I'm bullish.
I'm bullish too. Yeah.
Bottom line.
Go two Permabulls are bullish.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, right.
I will say that a lot of people who I do pay attention to, who are not in the Permabull, not in the Permabear camp, which I kind of put Benjamin Cohen in a Permabear camp. I know he's very conservative. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them are fairly bullish and constructive. So they tend to be more. And I feel like overall the general market sentiment is bearish, which is a good sign in my opinion.
Big time, yeah. I mean, there's just no one around because people lost their money and they left. But exactly. I also think it's good that like people wanted some crazy bull in like 2025 or even in like 2024, and I get that. But also like retail needs to have money, like retail doesn't want to play if they have no money. And like finally, for the first time since 2023 or 2021, like a lot of stocks and commodities and general assets have started to do well. Mm-hmm. And that's like, I don't understand. It's such a trader mindset to like, there's other things you could say like, okay, it's not good because rich people are the majority benefiting from that. But like, it's such a trader mindset to be like, oh, fuck crypto, I'm going to go chase equities because of this.
So dumb.
Or whatever, right? It's just like, okay, man, yeah, like good luck timing every single microsecond and coming back here at the right time and all that stuff. It's very bullish because now people have excess capital and they won. And so I think that we're actually in like a potential golden age for crypto, because in the past they might have come and they might have made some money in stocks. They might have come to crypto because an L1 sent and it was revolutionary technology. Yep. And they invested in that idea. But as we all know, the Polygons of the world and the Polkadots of the world, they just frankly didn't get adopted at scale. It just didn't happen, right? And it's nobody's fault. They just like weren't technologies with moats. But this actually could be very interesting because, as we've discussed many times, not all alts are going to send. In fact, probably very few alts are going to send because every liquid fund, every founder is waiting to sell, right? But that's not true in a coin like SPX. And so that has potential to actually bring a lot of retail in that have been burned by crypto in the past, but could safely put 10K, 25K, 50K in, assuming it's not like at the absolute, pico top, and have that actually benefit them and them win. And what are they going to say then, right?
Yep.
It's going to be a very different story than like, fuck crypto, I hate crypto. Instead, it's going to be like, I actually still don't like crypto, but I love this coin,
Yeah.
So that last year of the death of all the other coins, I think is so important.
Yeah. I was going to say one thing, with crypto, you don't describe, like, this is kind of a side point, but you don't describe Amazon. Amazon's my favorite website.
Right.
You just say, I love Amazon. I love SPX. I don't even like the. I get so sick of that word crypto because it's got such negative connotations. But
right.
We're kind of stuck in
that. That's exactly. I remember you saying that on your thing with your Persist Forever with Unk. That's exactly my point. Is like, if crypto as a whole is not sending, but a select few coins are sending,
right,
then it sort of diverts like the entirety of all coins and those few coins. And I actually think that's already happened. It's just happened on the downside. Yeah. Like we already have 40 million tokens. It's just that 99.9% of them are worth $0. And the 3, to 10 to 20 or so coins that have survived are not, they just went down way less, but they still went down. So what's going to happen when it goes up?
Right. Just,
the opposite.
Exactly. Absolutely. Did you have any, I know you got to get going. Do you have any final thoughts?
Man, my number one fear is always complacency. Not in like some stupid charting sense, but just like in a social sense. So, we got to keep doing everything that we can do to spread the movement. But I am very happy and like, really, I feel inspired by the amount of progress that we have made over the last year and a half, but really year, because we did it amidst a circumstance where so many other people gave up. And when I take a look around, like I'm proud to be a part of this.
Yep.
I'm proud to send this stuff to my friends and be like, I know this is kind of fucking crazy, but just hear me out, and like, I'm proud to like log in to Twitter or to Reddit and be like, dude, I know these people and they're good people and they're regular people. Like they're people you want to see win. It's not like rich guy number 300 who is going to be a bad actor with it. And
exactly.
I don't know. That just like it feels very humane to me. It makes me feel hopeful about like the future and about where society is heading. And I don't think that can be understated. The importance of that is massive because so many people are lacking like kind of a fundamental hope in life and in society that things are going to get better and that we don't have to accept what's been given to us. And so I just feel really inspired by all the progress that we've made. I know it's going to accelerate. Again, I don't want to be complacent, but I'm very confident it's going to accelerate. And so there's never been a better time to join. There's never been a better time to DCA. There's never been a better time to like spin up your own video, series or YouTube channel or live show or whatever. So I just want to see more and more of these things. And I like you said earlier, I just want to see it grow. I want to see more people win. I want to see more people happier, healthier, and hopefully wealthier, but only if it's done in a way that everybody benefits.
Yep. Yeah, I 100% agree, man. Thanks for coming on again. Appreciate it.
Dude, of course.
I know people are going to love listening to you.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to the next the stock market podcast. And I know Crypto Compass is still going strong.
Yes.
So, yep.
Next Thursday, Flip the Stock Market. If you haven't yet, sign up for the Greenville and then what is it where is it in the Netherlands? Is it in Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
Yes. Okay. Sign up for the Amsterdam meetup. I think there's another one in France. There's a lot of these happening. I'm sure Google Earth is going to take off to an even bigger extent soon, and there will be even more of these meetups. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to like getting to meet some of these people in real life that I've built these relationships with. So
yeah, hopefully you're able to,
this, Chad.
Yeah, hopefully you're able to come to Greenville. Yeah, you'll definitely, that'll be awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. I'll leave a link to Cal's X account below, leave the links to Flip the Stock Market, Crypto Compass, all that stuff. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, persist forever.